Have you ever had one of those evenings where the house is quiet, the sun's going down, and you're just standing there thinking, what now? The day's over, the phone didn't ring, dinner's done, and suddenly that silence starts to feel a little too loud. Maybe it doesn't happen every day, but when it does, it's hard not to feel the weight of being alone. Living alone after 70 can be both a gift and a challenge. On one hand, there's freedom. No one to tell you what to do, when to do it, or how. You get to eat what you want, watch what you like, go to bed on your own schedule. But on the other hand, there's the tricky stuff. The moments where you wonder if anyone would notice if something went wrong. The creeping thoughts late at night about health, safety, or just plain loneliness. But here's the truth. Living alone doesn't have to mean living in fear, or boredom, or silence. You can absolutely stay safe, healthy, and genuinely happy with just a few intentional choices. And you don't have to change everything about your routine to feel better. Sometimes, it's just a small shift that makes a big difference. Let's start with something simple, but incredibly powerful. Staying connected to people. Now, I'm not talking about throwing parties or becoming the neighborhood social butterfly, unless you want to, of course. What I mean is making sure you have regular touch points with other people. Humans are social creatures. Even if you're more of an introvert, we all need connection to feel grounded, to stay mentally sharp, and even to stay physically healthy. Maybe you already talk to family on the phone now and then. That's great, but is it consistent? Does it feel like a routine you can count on, or is it more random, like waiting for someone else to call? One easy way to shift this is to schedule connection just like you would a doctor's appointment or a meal. Maybe you plan a Sunday call with your niece, or you make a habit of chatting with a neighbor on your morning walk. You could even join a virtual group, yes, on the computer, like a book club or coffee chat for seniors. You'd be surprised how easy these are to join now, even if technology isn't your thing. And if you're not sure who to reach out to, try this. Think of one person you've lost touch with but enjoyed talking to. Call them. No need for a big reason. Just say, I thought of you today. How are you? That's it. A connection begins. Now, while staying socially connected feeds the heart and mind, let's talk about something that takes care of your body, creating a home that's truly safe for solo living. When you're living alone, there's no one else there to spot a wobbly rug or catch you if you trip in the dark. That doesn't mean your home has to become sterile or clinical, but it does mean you should set it up to work with you, not against you. Think of it this way. You're not just decorating a space, you're building your support system. So let's start with lighting. Can you walk through your house at night without stumbling? Are there night lights in the hallway or the bathroom? A few soft plug-in lights can make a huge difference. And while you're at it, check the entryway. Can you see clearly when you come in at night? Motion sensor lights outside are an easy fix and bring peace of mind. Next, take a look at your floors. Are there rugs that curl at the edges? Cords stretching across walking areas? Even a small slip could lead to weeks of recovery. It's worth it to take one afternoon to do a fall-proofing sweep through your home. Move items to waist height if you reach for them often. Make sure your shoes have non-slip soles. Add grab bars near the toilet and in the shower. They don't make your home look old, they make it look smart. And speaking of the bathroom, that space deserves extra love. A shower chair, a handheld shower head, non-slip mats. These are not luxuries. They are freedom. Freedom to bathe comfortably, safely, and with dignity. That's the kind of independence that matters most. But let's go beyond just the physical now. Because staying safe and healthy also includes what you do each day, not just what you prevent. That brings us to the power of routine. When you live alone, it's easy for the hours to blend together. You wake up whenever, eat whenever, and sometimes the day just disappears. And that's when loneliness creeps in. Not because you're alone, but because the day lacks shape, purpose. Building a daily rhythm gives your mind something to look forward to. It doesn't have to be rigid. Just give your day a gentle structure. Wake up at the same time. Make your bed. Eat your meals at regular intervals. Add one anchor activity, something that brings you joy. Maybe it's watering your plants, writing in a journal, playing music, or taking a short walk around the block. And don't underestimate the power of movement. You don't have to go to a gym, but your body wants to be used. Stretch in the morning. Do a few arm circles while the kettle boils. Put on your favorite music and dance a little in your chair. When you move, you feel more alive, and that spark adds color to the rest of your day. These first few pieces, staying connected, setting up a safe home, and creating daily routines, are the foundation for a strong, fulfilling life on your own. They bring structure, security, and a sense of belonging, even if no one else lives with you. Now that we've touched on those, let's keep going and explore a few more meaningful ways you can thrive while living solo. One thing that often goes unspoken, but affects so many of us living alone, is the simple fact that when no one's watching, it's easy to let little things slip. You skip a meal here, forget your vitamins there. You say, "I'll do that tomorrow," and suddenly it's next week. But here's the good news. Those little things, they're totally in your control, and making just a few small, intentional choices can bring back that sense of strength and purpose you may not have realized was missing. Let's talk about food. Not just eating it, but enjoying it again. When you live alone, it's so easy to think, why bother cooking a full meal just for me? You grab a snack, heat up something frozen, maybe pour a bowl of cereal and call it dinner. And hey, we've all done that. But when that becomes the norm, not the exception, your body starts to feel it. You may not notice at first, but the fatigue, the brain fog, even feelings of sadness or restlessness, they can often be traced back to poor nutrition. The key here isn't to become a gourmet chef or spend hours in the kitchen. It's about making food work for you again, easy, nourishing, and satisfying. Start with a few go-to meals you actually enjoy. Something warm, something fresh. Maybe it's a big pot of soup you can reheat over a few days, or a hearty salad with some grilled chicken or beans. Don't be afraid of pre-cut veggies or frozen fruits. They're fast, they're healthy, and they save your energy for the parts of the day you actually want to enjoy. And when you eat, try to do it at a table, with a plate, not just standing at the counter or in front of the TV. You deserve that moment of calm. Put on music, light a candle even. Eating is about more than calories. It's a ritual that reminds you that you matter, and that taking care of yourself is something to look forward to. Now, while we're on the subject of routines that affect how we feel, let's talk about sleep. When you're on your own, bedtime can drift. Maybe you stay up late watching TV, then sleep in the next morning. Or you fall asleep in the chair after dinner and find yourself wide awake at 3 a.m. Sound familiar? Sleep is your body's reset button. And after 70, quality sleep becomes even more important because it affects your memory, your mood, your balance, even your immune system. So, how do you improve it when the rhythm of the day feels flexible, even unpredictable? One word: signals. Your body needs clear signals to wind down. That means creating a gentle, familiar routine each evening. Dim the lights an hour before bed. Turn off loud or bright screens. Maybe take a warm shower, make a cup of herbal tea, or read a few pages of a book. These signals tell your brain, it's time to rest. And let's not forget the space itself. Is your bedroom cool, quiet, and cozy? Do you feel safe there? Is your mattress comfortable, or do you wake up with aches that linger all day? Investing in your sleep setup is not indulgent, it's essential. If your mind tends to race at night, keep a notepad nearby. Write down whatever's buzzing around in your brain, tomorrow's errands, worries, even good ideas. Getting it out of your head makes space for sleep. And if you find yourself feeling lonely at night, especially in the quiet hours, consider something simple but powerful. a pet. Now, not everyone wants or can care for an animal, but if it's something you've thought about, even a small dog or a cat can bring warmth and companionship into those quiet moments. They give structure, they provide comfort, and they remind you that you're not alone, even when the house is still. But even if pets aren't your thing, find something that brings comfort in the evenings. A soft blanket, a favorite album, a nightly prayer, or meditation. These rituals anchor us. Let's also not overlook the importance of mental engagement. When you live alone, your conversations may be fewer. Your brain doesn't get the same workout it used to from casual chatting, planning, solving problems. Over time, this can dull your sharpness. Not because you're aging, but because your mind's not being used the way it thrives. That's why it's so important to keep learning, keep doing, keep discovering. This doesn't mean you have to go enroll in school, but maybe you pick up a new hobby. Paint, write, do puzzles, play brain games on a tablet or computer. Even something as simple as learning a new recipe or writing letters to a grandchild keeps your mind alive. And don't underestimate the power of your own voice. You've got decades of life experience. Why not share it? Start a journal. Record voice memos of your memories. Tell your story, not just for others, but for you. Because when you reflect, when you express, when you engage with your past and your present, it helps you stay rooted and energized for the future. All of these things, eating well, sleeping better, keeping your mind active, build towards something bigger. A feeling of confidence, of control, of joy. Because living alone doesn't mean living less. It means shaping your days with intention. It means you get to choose what matters most and create a life that reflects you. There's still one more piece of the puzzle to talk about. Something that ties all these efforts together into a full, satisfying life. Let's talk about something that may be the most powerful part of living alone, and also the most overlooked. It's that quiet space between the noise of the world and the rhythm of your own thoughts. It's not about routines or safety or even health. It's about purpose. Because no matter how organized your home is, how well you sleep, or how often you see friends, if you wake up without a reason to start your day, it can all feel a little hollow. We all need a sense of purpose, and it doesn't have to be grand. You don't need to be building an empire or writing a novel. Purpose can live in the smallest things. A garden you tend, a neighbor you check in on, a letter you send to someone who needs it. It can be found in making art, in keeping a journal, in volunteering once a week at the library or animal shelter. It can be in starting your day with prayer or meditation, or simply saying, "Today, I'm going to make someone smile." When you're living alone, you get to choose what that purpose is. You are no longer living on someone else's timeline. That freedom is gold. You can finally pour your energy into things that feed your spirit. And if you're not sure what that thing is yet, that's okay. Try a few. Maybe it's something you used to love but haven't done in years. Painting, sewing, playing music. Maybe it's something you've never tried but always wondered about. You're not too old to start anything. Not dancing, not writing, not hiking, not love. Nothing. In fact, this chapter of life can be one of the richest because you know yourself better. You've earned wisdom through years of experience. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone. That's the real gift of growing older. Now, let's come back to something very practical, but deeply personal. How you feel about yourself each day. One of the sneakiest things about living alone is that without regular reflection or encouragement from others, our inner voice can drift toward the negative. I'm not as sharp as I used to be. I'm slowing down. Maybe I'm just too old to matter. But let me tell you something, and I hope you hear this clearly. You do matter. Your voice matters. Your presence matters. You still have value right now, exactly as you are. The world doesn't stop needing you because your house is quiet. If anything, it needs your perspective more than ever. So take a moment each morning, even if you're still in bed, and say something kind to yourself, not out of vanity, but out of care. Today, I'm grateful for my body. I have something important to offer. I deserve peace and joy. These aren't just words. They set the tone for how you move through the day. And if you ever catch yourself spiraling into doubt or worry, reach out. There are people, family, friends, support groups, professionals, who are more than willing to listen. You don't have to carry everything alone, even if you live alone. It's okay to ask for help. That doesn't make you weak, it makes you wise. Knowing when to speak up is a form of strength, and it keeps you connected to a world that still has so much to offer you. So as we bring all of this together, let's reflect on the journey. You've taken a good look at how to build connection, create a safe and nurturing space, eat and rest with intention, and feed your heart and mind with things that bring joy. You've looked at the habits that help your body feel strong and the thoughts that remind you of your worth. You've made time to think about you, your independence, your needs, your happiness. That's powerful. Because at the end of the day, living alone after 70 doesn't mean shrinking your life. It means shaping it. You're in control. You get to decide what comes next. And even if there are days that feel tough, moments of loneliness or doubt or grief, you now have the tools to meet those moments with confidence, with grace, and with a plan. Remember, independence isn't doing everything alone. It's knowing you can do what matters and choosing what brings you peace. If this video has reminded you of something important or helped spark a new idea, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. What's something you've done lately to make your life happier or easier while living alone? You never know who might be encouraged by your story. And if you found value in this, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more support, guidance, and inspiration. Because no matter where you are in your journey, you deserve a life that feels safe, strong, and full of meaning. Here's to waking up with purpose, moving through your day with joy, and sleeping each night with peace. You've got this. Here's to living your best life at any age.